Hello, comrades. Commissar Bro here today with DCB Shoes Year 15. That's right. This is like the fifth video, the sixth video? I don't know, something like that. And I know a lot of you have been waiting real patiently for this. So, first off, I want to apologize. I have been sick. I haven't been able to do any videos lately between having the flu, losing my voice, having migraines almost 24/7. It's been awful. So, less bitching from me and more talking about the game, shall we? So, if we're just going to do a quick rundown of our performance compared to this year, in year 14 compared to last year. So, we didn't increase much, barely at all, truly. I mean, if you look here, we only went up by about 15 million. Our earnings per share did increase, but it did not increase to the number we were looking for. We were looking for somewhere in the ballpark of 1120, and only got to 1024. Our return on equity has also gone down more, dropping from 28.3 to 26.2. Looking at our stock price only went up like $7, which was incredibly disappointing because I was sure it was going to go up much higher. Our credit rating also went down to an A, whereas before it was an A+. Our image rating also went down just a little bit by 3 points. It went from 99 to 96. And our global sales overall, it seems declined between the three categories. I mean, it increased in wholesale, but it increased in private label sales, but internet sales still increased. So we still hold a dominant share there. But if we look at our global market share, we lost a pretty good chunk. We went from 25% to 21.7%. So it was a pretty big change there, and mostly because of some of the machinations of our opponents. They did a pretty nasty job of lowballing the prices, really, is what they did. Well, at least one person in particular. So I actually want to kind of show that off because it was incredibly interesting. I didn't see it coming from a mile away. If we look, here's Company D, right? This is us. So looking at Company D, we did a pretty good job. I mean, we sold our stuff. We have dominating shares in just about every market but the private label market. And in the private label, we sold all the shoes that we tried to in North America. But this is where the kicker is. In the Asia Pacific, Company E managed to take a whopping 91.2% of the share. We were not paying attention and we overbid our price. Our price was too much. But more importantly, they sold all the shoes they needed to because they offered so many at such a cheap price. Honestly, they were probably only making about $8 off of each pair of those shoes, if they're lucky. So honestly, I have no idea how he cut his prices that low. As a matter of fact, both of these companies did that, especially this company with the quality of shoe that they're selling. They can't have made all that much money at all. So it was very interesting to see that. And this, because we lost this share, that was a huge chunk of our income. There was 500 pairs of shoes went unsold. So that really, really hurt us. And if we look at some of the other markets, we still maintain dominating shares in Latin America. We still maintain dominating shares in Europe. But once again, it was very possible we almost outpriced ourselves. We got a little too cocky and tried to set the price, and I forgot to actually calculate the bid price for each place. So, taking a look at our private label operations, you can see that I've changed it this time. I've brought prices down significantly and even brought the AP market down absolutely considerably. Truly, I need to bring it down more if I'm going to be able to take the share away from our opponent. Because we need to sell those shoes. But to sell shoes at such a cheap price is insane, in my opinion. It hurts my soul to do this. But I'm going to cut that market low. And we're going to take that... if we're going to try to take that market if we can, if at all possible. But again, it's only 200 pairs of shoes. Basically, what I've decided to do is take all my pairs and shift them to other locations that I'm producing. Because remember, we did increase our capacity last turn. So, you know, all things considered, we can still make a crap ton of shoes. And we're going to try to cut in to the performance of company F or E, because company E is kind of a scary company right now. Looking at the scoreboard, they're only number 4, but to take away such a dominating share from us in just one turn speaks very ill of the situation we may be faced with. So we need to be very careful. Companies F and C are both rising in stock power too. Like if you look at their best in industry scores and their scores overall, they're going up. Well, competitive actually went down, and fearless didn't really change at all. But 4 is making some really nasty penetrative pricing choices, essentially. Like they're basically like, we're taking back this market and we're going to do it as cutthroat as we possibly can. So what we need to be concerned about is basically stuff being too expensive in our other markets, and we got to be very careful about that. But I'm pretty good with the amount of the earnings we're projecting. It's a $2 increase. The image rating is still high. We're projecting a better credit rating. We just basically need to perform. We need to show that we can perform. As per usual, the only thing I'm not going to show you is the celebrity endorsements, because I don't really mind if people see what I'm doing on these numbers, because this is all stuff that they themselves can do. But I don't want people to see my bids, because then they can just actively take my celebrity endorsements from me, which is a very interesting thing to actually note. If we take a look at the celebrities for this year, you can basically see that we lost a couple more to F and A. So basically, the only celebrities we have now are Danica Sebastian, Ace Federer, Michelle Wie, Jose Montana, and Cristiano Romano, and Peyton Mannion, with a total of, we're projecting 390, 410, 365, 425. So we need to hold on to what little we still have left. And if we're looking at pricing, we can kind of see all of our pricing along the board. If you're looking for tips, I'm not going to go into every single intricate detail, but here you go. If you wanted to see it and you wanted to pause it and take a look at it. Again, we're trying a bunch of different new strategies this time around, even clearing a majority of our beginning inventory at incredibly low prices to basically try to earn back some of that cash and to do some nasty work, as it were. So yeah, you can basically see all this stuff. The important stuff is we are still keeping the prices low on the internet market while still earning a pretty strong profit. Our wholesale prices are kind of low. In my opinion, I think they're very low, considering the quality of shoe we're putting out. Once again, the quality of shoe gives us a pretty strong advantage when we're competing with our opponents, so that's something to keep in mind. We are going to be increasing worker productivity by 25% in the European Africa plant, which should start saving us about $2 million a year. As you can see, we've already done a bunch of other stuff over here, like we've equipment upgrade to boost in the African plant. We haven't actually done that in the Europe-Asia plant, which we really should, to make it a lot cheaper to produce our shoes there. But we're getting on it. Overall, you can see our capacity is past, 12,000 at this point. So we're producing a crap ton of shoes. We really don't need to change that anymore. We just need to make sure to utilize what we still have left if we're going to be able to defeat our opponents. This is the quality of our shoes. We are producing at an 8 now. Once again, we are setting the bar for how good your shoes should be. And my expectation here is that our opponents are going to have trouble keeping up with that quality of shoe that we make. Basically, I'm cool with this. They can struggle for all I care. I do kind of want us to win this game, so I'm being a little bit more cutthroat than I have been in the past. So yeah, and I'm keeping some of my estimates low here. I'm assuming we're going to shortfall in a few areas because I'm not going to be surprised if we do. Again, last year was a very sobering. Or to basically see this year's result, or the results from last year, is very sobering. The year 14 results, I'm not very happy with that. I mean, we basically were off our projections by like 25%, which is unacceptable, absolutely unacceptable. So those are kind of where I'm like, eh. And as you can see, we're going to try to do an early repayment of loan number 1. We have a crap ton of loans out right now that we're losing a lot of money to. But we need to make sure that we're not going to lose our company, essentially, to loans and whatnot. So that's not looking too good. Again, this is the private label. You can see my bidding prices here, but I doubt my opponents are actually going to see the private label bids. But again, we're going to try to be more aggressive in our bidding in the private label market to make it to where we're more of a competitor than our opponents, at least more than we have been, especially last turn. As you can see, we still own a majority share of the internet market, and the internet market slowly grows. As you can see, it's growing by some pretty big chunks. 70 additional pairs are being sold, so we're making money there. And if it keeps growing at this rate and we maintain our dominance of the market, then we should be good. One other thing I will mention is I did decrease the amount of models we're selling from 100 to 50. Basically, the high-quality shoes that we're producing, we still sell as many shoes as we need to and make all of our money off of it, but it's incredibly expensive to produce 100 models in each of our facilities. So we've cut that off, and we're doing 50 models only. But again, they're still the most high quality shoes on the market. They're the best shoes you can get. So it'll be interesting to see if our opponents can actually compete with our quality of shoe. But anyway, this has been Commissar Bro. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you guys find this interesting. Again, I really enjoy playing this game. And I think this is a lot of fun, and it'll be interesting to see if our opponents actually compete with us in that respect, if they continue to do so. Again, as you can see, they did a pretty bang-up job of messing up our numbers last time, bringing our forecast down almost 6%. So it'll be interesting to see what happens this coming up turn, and hopefully E doesn't manage to take too much of our market share. At that point, we're going to be hurting because we've already got all this industrial capacity, but worst case scenario, we sell it off if we can't maintain our controlling shares of the market. So it'll be interesting. It'll all be very interesting to see what occurs. But anyway, this has been Commissar Bro, and I'll see you guys next time.